Hello, and welcome to the David Todd Miller Podcast. I'm your host, David Todd Miller. This podcast is about fitness, nutrition, having a positive mindset, and how to optimize the human performance as well as the human experience. This podcast is also about developing a never say die attitude, living a life of positivity and passion, and most of all, having hope. Happens. You can kind of think about it, you can kind of look here and there for signs or, people that may inspire you, but in my opinion, what it really comes down to is where do you want to go in life? What do you want to be? What impact do you want to make on the world? What impact do you want to make on your family, your friends, the people that you walk into every day in your day-to-day? What do you want your life to be? And your life is not only the sum of everything that has happened from this point until the day that you die, but at every moment, that is your life. What I'm doing right now, this is my life. This is part of my life. And it's those individual moments that add up to making the difference in the person that you're remembered for and the footprints and the legacy that you leave behind for others. And what we do in this life echoes in eternity. So that's one place to start. What do you want all that to be? Do you want to be the person that people look back on and say, hey, they were a hard worker. They had a positive mindset. They were a go-getter. They were there when I needed them. And so you get these trace aspects that build up to being that person that you want to be. And you say, okay, this is where I am now, and this is where I want to be. What do I have to do in order to get there? What do I have to become? What trials and tribulations do I have to go through? What do I have to learn? What do I have to do in my day-to-day? What habits do I have to form? You take all that into your processing, and you go from there. And that's a start. That's a start of motivation. And then you have to give it energy. You have to feed it coals. You have to keep it hot. You have to keep it malleable. Otherwise, it's going to cool off, it's going to get cold, and it's going to stop. And when that happens, that's the end of it. Motivation, it comes and goes. It comes and goes, guys. You wake up, you want to go out for a run. So I'm going to get in shape. It's It's January 1st. Here I am. Or maybe you got a hangover on January 1st. It's January 2nd. I'm ready to go out and I'm going to run 2 miles today. 2 miles is a good place to start, and that's what I'm going to go do. And you know what? It's raining outside. It's snowing outside. Whatever day that is you choose to go, and it's not that good, maybe, I'll wait another day. I'll wait another day. And pretty soon, it's been 2 months, and you don't even think about it anymore. Motivation came and went. Motivation is an ignition. It's a spark. It's a spark to the flame, and you have to add logs. You have to add fuel constantly, and that's where discipline comes in. You have to be disciplined about it, and that's the hard part. You have to build up the habits that ensure you're going to stay on that path. That even if you don't want to, on the days when it sucks and you don't want to go outside and rain, or you're feeling a little achy, you're feeling tired, you don't want to go to the gym. Or maybe your coworker brought in that box of donuts and you don't want to have your broccoli and chicken and your avocado for lunch. You'd rather just have a donut or two. But it's those habits. It's remembering why you started, of where you want to be, not where you are, that is going to motivate you and keep you disciplined as well for that long term. Motivation is a short term, that initial spark. Discipline, due diligence, effort, consistency is what's going to carry you the journey. And when you are able to do that, then that's where you go in life. That's how you get from where you are to where you want to be. And it's so challenging. It really is. We all struggle with it, but it's in that struggle, it's in having that difficulty that makes it so much worth it, that makes it so much worthwhile, that once we get to that point, that we can look back on and say, hey, I did this. I went in and I went the journey. I went the mile. I went the extra mile. to get to where I wanted to be, to being that person that I wanted to be. And there's so many things that you can do along the way once you've established that motivation to get started, because the discipline is the hard part, but it's also the easiest, because all you have to do is show up. Even if you're just kind of going through the motions, you're going through those motions, you're getting in the habit of doing that thing, and it will start to feel weird if you don't. I've been working out and lifting here for years, and if I don't go for 3 or 4 days, I start feeling weird. Things feel off. It doesn't feel the same. I don't feel right. And that's how you want it to be. If it's if you're trying to build a habit of as kids, we build a habit of brushing our teeth. It feels weird to us if we don't do it nowadays. Not just because our breath would smell bad, or over time our teeth wouldn't look so good, because it feels weird, because that habit has been instilled in us, hopefully, from that young age, right? Or maybe you're somebody who's really trying to work on this habit of eating healthy, and so you prepare every Sunday. You say to your spouse, you say to your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or your roommate, hey, let's get together and spend an hour or two, and we'll just knock everything out for the week. And we're gonna have all this healthy food, and we're gonna go in, and it's going to be a fun experience. We'll throw a movie on, throw some music on, and we can make a time of it. And you do that week after week after week after week, and then one week, roommate, spouse, whoever it is that you've been tag teaming with is out of town. They're on vacation, they're seeing family, whatever, and even though they're not there, you still have this strong desire to do it. And it's because you've built that habit. You've built that habit in the back of your mind of this is what I'm used to. This is what I need to do. This is what I need in my life to feel right, because you've built up that habit. And in doing so, you've ensured you've carved out the groove. And so if you go outside of that groove, if you go off the path, then it feels weird. It doesn't feel right. And you know what? You drop right back into it. You drop right back into gear, and you're back on track. And you're like, hey, this is where I'm supposed to be. I feel right. You go out, you have McDonald's, you have pizza, you have something that just it doesn't agree with your stomach. Maybe it tastes good going down. Maybe you feel okay for a couple hours, but man, later on, you're not feeling right, or you're having a little bit of an extended trip to the restroom, and you're like, I'm out of my zone. I'm not where my body knows it's supposed to be. The body will start picking up on it. Not only the mind, but also the body, right? And so in doing so, you build those habits. So you had the motivation. You want to see where you want to go, and you see where you are now. You reverse engineer. You see what you need to do to get there. You start doing that, and over time you build up the habits, you build up the discipline, and then it's routine. You keep that routine, and even if you get off track, you're able to come back to it. You're able to get back on track, and it feels right. And hopefully along the way, people will start to acknowledge it. People will start to say, hey, you're awesome. You're doing great. You're consistent with this. I see you jogging. Your neighbor comes around the corner. It's like, I see you jogging every morning at 6 o'clock. I don't know how you do it. It's like, yeah, I don't know how to do it either. It feels weird if I don't. I get up and I go outside and I do that. Or, I see you at the gym every day after work. Aren't you tired after work? It's like, yeah, there's a lot of times when I'm tired after work, but, I'm even more tired if I don't go to the gym and it doesn't feel right. I got to get my workout in. Or, how are you eating, all this healthy food all the time? Don't you want to have all this junk food? Aren't you ravenous? And it's like, well, maybe I work it in a little bit here and there, but for the most part, as long as I'm eating healthy food, I feel pretty good. I really don't have any cravings because, my body's getting everything it needs. So you do, that's what you do, guys. And then if you're really having trouble, I think the hardest part is identifying what you want those habits to become. And making sure that you don't get too sidetracked at the beginning. And there's multiple things you can do. You can write it down. I'm a strong visual learner myself, but there's a lot of science to writing down your goals, and doing it both physically, seeing it, and then, speaking about it as you're doing it. You have multiple forms of information coming into your mind. You have the visual, you have the physical with the touch via writing, you have the verbal, the auditory, right? As you're reading what you write, and then it's in your own hand, it's in your own style, right? And you've placed it somewhere where you can see it every day. It's a constant reminder. Or maybe you're putting on your phones, like, I want to build a habit of, being more clear. I want more clarity in my life. I want more energy, and you know what? I need to drink more water. So you put it on your phone, and it pops up a couple times a day. Set it 10, 2, and right after you get home, be more clear. Have energy, and drink some water. And then it's a little reminder right then, because it's easy to get sidetracked. There's so many things going on in the world, and so staying on track and not letting the distractions distract you is a huge thing. But every now and then, maybe play devil's advocate and look at the flip side. It's like, okay, well, you know what? Screw it. I don't want to eat healthy anymore. Like, why? I've been dieting for a month and a half and nothing's happening. Like, I'm not losing any weight. I don't look any better. I feel a little bit better. Like, what's the point? And play devil's advocate. Say, yeah, what is the point? What's the point of doing all this? I guess maybe I'm going to live longer. Maybe it's just going to take time because I've been eating this way for several years, and the past 4 or 5 weeks, maybe my body needs more time to get used to it. Maybe it needs time to adapt to this change in food, or maybe I just need to make a little slight adjustment. Maybe I need to be more patient with it, and do things like that. It's like, okay, what if I've been working out for a month and I don't see any changes, and really it takes most people about 8 weeks. You can do a crash course and hit it really hard and see changes in 4, but most people, they don't see any changes, especially because from a body standpoint, like, it takes time to remodel muscle tissue, to remodel bone. It just takes time, guys, and it's where patience comes in. But you can look at it from that point of view and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to play devil's advocate on this one. What happens if I stop lifting? My bones are going to not be as dense, so I'm going to be more likely to get osteoporosis or have weak, brittle bones as I get older. I'm not going to have as much vigor and energy and vitality. I'm not going to be as strong. I'm going to be more likely to get injured if I go to catch myself or something like that. I can't help people move, things. I can't, move my own furniture in my own home or something like that. There's just so many things that are going to negatively affect your body if you don't do that. And asking the inverse of the question, why should I lift? Why should you not lift? It doesn't really make that much sense. Why should I not eat healthy? Well, there's not really a whole lot, because we know, guys, and that's why we start. And so I think what a lot of people, because I've seen it, guys, a lot of people when they start out with it, they're hot off the start, guys, and they get 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks in to like a New Year's resolution or this new habit. They had the motivation, they found it, they know where they wanted to be. They're doing good, they're persevering, they're fighting the good fight, and they're just not seeing the results. And what I have to say to that is be patient. Everyone's different. If Sally Jean, got fit in 30 days, maybe it's going to take you 60. Maybe it's going to take 90. If Roger Joe is able to bench press an extra 100 pounds in, 2 months, it might take you 4 or 5. We're all very similar as human beings, but we're also very different. And so you can't shortcut yourself. You can't shortcut your efforts and just give up. There's a reason you started, and it's your obligation, and it's your purpose. It's something that you believed in. And if you give up on that, you're giving up on that self, that part of you that wanted to be better. And that's the person we all want to be. We all want to be that better version of ourselves. Not only for ourselves, but hopefully, and what I believe, is for others. We want to be better for our family, our friends, our coworkers, our neighbors, the world in general, because we're more than what we are currently. We can be more. And that kind of person is the person that we all strive to be, that we know we can be. And we, at the end of the day, we look back at our day. Everyone does it, unless you're just that tired and just pass out. But we look back at our day and we say, you know what? Did I do everything that I wanted to do? Was I the person that I wanted to be? Did I settle? Did I go all in? Did I give it my best effort? Or did I just kind of, lollygag, and was I just mediocre? Did I wake up and was I mediocre today? No one wakes up and says, I want to be the best mediocre person. I want to be the best average Joe. No, because that's not who we are as people. That's not who we are as humans. Because we are so freaking capable of being able to do amazing things. I mean, guys, look around the world at what we have accomplished and what we are accomplishing. There's a lot of negative things. There's a lot of things we're still trying to fix as human beings, with ourselves, with our environment, the way we interact with each other and with our environment. But there's just so much out there. There is so much out there that we have accomplished. We have gone leaps and bounds. We've put a man on the moon. We've traveled the oceans. We can fly. We can talk to people instantaneously across the world. We've seen the outer reaches of space. We've seen the nanoparticles of a human cell. We've seen an atom broken down to even smaller subdivisions, subparticles, and we are just truly miraculous. We are capable of so much more. And every one of us has something like that in us. Maybe you're not going to cure cancer. Maybe you're not going to break down quarks, which I believe is the subparticle of an atom. Maybe you're not going to make the first Iron Man suit. I am. At least I'll try. Maybe you can't be the best recording artist for R&B or country or pop or, bluegrass, whatever it is. But there's something about you that only you have, because of your experiences, because of your knowledge, your skills, your abilities, the person that you are, and the person that you're becoming. And whatever that is, you owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to go in wholeheartedly with truth and vigor and tenaciousness to achieve it. And if you don't know what that is my challenge for you today, to go in and take some time to reflect. Take some time to reflect and ask yourself, what am I passionate about? What am I good at? What do I enjoy? What can I do to help others? And make a plan, make a decision to go for that, to go with reckless abandonment towards that goal, towards that dream, towards that decisive decision. And don't look back. Look back only to see how far you've come, to help you go even further. Because the first step is the hardest one, guys. The first step is the hardest. because you're getting everything in motion. You're overcoming that friction, that stale part where you're motionless, right? You're giving it energy, and that first step, that first stride is going to be the hardest one, because you're breaking all of that kinetic friction, all of that friction that is holding you in place, and you're breaking through it. And once you get that going, the next one's a little bit easier, and you're picking up speed, and you're going, and next thing you know, you're sprinting full blast in the direction that you want to go with your life, and you just keep going. You see an obstacle coming, you're able to jump over it. You got enough speed that you can jump, clear it, and keep moving forward. A wall comes in, boom, you get the shoulder, and you're good to go. You're going through that wall, you're hopping over it, you're going around it. You are mobile, you are able. You slow down, maybe you even trip. Maybe you trip, but you know what? You're going to trip, and you're going to trip forward. You're going to somersault over, and you're going to pop right back up, because you're not wanting to stay on the ground. It's like, you know what? I've come this far. I've been running the race. I'm not just going to lay down in the middle of the track. I'm bouncing back up, and I'm finishing this thing, because that's who I am. That's, the motivation that got me started, it's still in my heart. It's still a part of me. I'm still internally driven, but I have so much more now than just that start, than just that spark. I have momentum. I have energy. I have experiences, and I am able to just conquer anything that gets in my way, because this is what I believe in. This is the habits that I've formed. This is the energy that I'm bringing. And you are able to just keep going until you've hit that goal, until you've made that difference in your life, in other people's lives. And that's what I believe motivation is and becomes. It's not just motivation, guys. Motivation is temporary. It's the continuation of developing that motivation. It's like, motivation is like the seed. It's a small sapling that grows into the oak being the discipline that stands the test of time, that doesn't waver with the winds of distractions and changing environment. The oak stands strong. The sapling, it sways a little bit, because we're still building that momentum. We're still building to become that person that we want to be, to having that motivation become something that we are, not just that we think, but that we are. Aristotle says that we are what we repeatedly do. Therefore, excellence is not an act, but a habit. We build those habits until it becomes who we are. Our thoughts become our words. Our words become our actions. Our actions become who we are. And so it starts in the mind. We continue it with action and due diligence and consistency until it is no longer any of those, but it is everything, and it is us. So my challenge for you, again, is if you don't know what you want to become, of what you want that spark of motivation to be driven for, take some time today, maybe a half hour, bring a pen, paper, find a quiet place where you aren't going to get interrupted, you don't have anybody texting you, and think about what you want to be. Think about what difference you want to make in the world. Think about what you enjoy, what you can be passionate about, what you can do when no one else is watching, and what you will do when everyone is watching, all to the same ability, which is your best, because that's what you feel in your heart. And once you've done that, or if you're already there, set up an action plan. You have to have a plan of action of what's going to keep you on track. Because, again, we're hollowing out that groove. We're paving the road of where we want this to go. And if we get bounced off, where we know to come back onto. And that way we ensure that we're not haphazardly going through our day-to-day. We are on a direct path in the direction of what we want to be and where we want to go. And once you've done that, you're golden, guys. The habit is formed, and then at that point, It's fun, and the challenge is to not only to show up consistently and continue that habit, but to make each moment as best as you can. To make each moment 110%. Making it that 100% and then just a little bit more because you want it. Because we only have so much time, right? We only have so much time to make a difference. There are things out of our control that may come up, and it's a race to the finish. It's a long race. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint, but it's a race to the finish. And once you finish that goal, you do the whole thing over again, and you set a new horizon, and we are always climbing. We are always striving to be better. We are always striving to be more, and the journey never ends. It never ends, guys. We just find new ones. We just find more people to help along the way. And in doing so, we leave the world a better place. We leave the world a better place. We make a difference in our lives and the lives of others. And so that's motivation for you. That's discipline for you. And that's all I've got time for today. I got to go hit the gym myself, make a positive difference in my own life, turn around, help you guys out. And so I will catch you later on. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email, info@davidtoddmiller.com. If you want to see some more workout videos, more nutrition, more videos like this, or if you're listening to the podcast, more podcasts like this one, I'm going to do it either way. But if you want something specific, let me know. And go out there, like I said, find that motivation, instill the discipline, but all along the way, have fun and help other people out. That's what it's all about, guys. Because we don't get to take anything in this world when we go. It's about what we leave behind. And you can leave behind a whole lot. You can leave behind beliefs and inspiration for others to follow and better their lives for. And so I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks again, guys, for taking time out of your day to listen to the podcast. Also, thanks to Natural Machine Nutrition for sponsoring this podcast. If you're interested in natural supplements without fillers, dyes, chemicals, anything like that, check out Natural Machine Nutrition at naturalmachinenutrition.com. And if you would like to contact me for any reason for podcast ideas, people who you'd like to hear interviews from, anything like that, go ahead and send me an email at info@davidtoddmiller.com. Also, open to constructive criticism. Would really appreciate it. Always trying to do my best to help you guys out. You can also find more content at davidtoddmiller.com. I have workout videos, nutrition videos, some cookbook recipes, behind the scenes of any kind of fitness modeling or anything like that I've done. And if you're interested in personal training or nutrition, you can reach me at wallstreettrainer@gmail.com, or you can go ahead and schedule a free consultation on the website. If you're not located here in New York City and looking for a one-on-one semi-private class for personal training, you can still reach out to me and I can put together an online program for you going over the details for workouts and or nutrition. And we can pretty much just correspond via a mobile application that you can download right on your phone. So that's another possibility as well. Again, thank you guys. Sincerely appreciate your time. Go out there, have fun, enjoy every moment life has to offer, live your passion, help others, and most of all, have hope. This is David Miller, out.